Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I advise you to buckle up because things are about to get heavy as I present to you, Are You There, China? It's me, North Korea, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Alrighty, nerds. So you see this little nation right here? Yeah, that's North Korea, and they kind of suck. There's a bit of a problem going on in North Korea right now, and it affects a bunch of people, specifically these. So now it's time to play America's favorite game show, Wait, What the is going on? Well, I'm glad you asked. A while ago, there was this quiet little thing called, the Cold War! And during this whole thing, there was a civil war going down in Korea. There were two teams, North Korea and South Korea. Both teams had pretty big-name sponsors, which also just so happened to be the two global superpowers having a friendly dispute over which economic structure was good and righteous, and which one was a pig-ridden, witchcraft-filled cluster of economic resources flying left and right. In the end, the whole thing ended in a draw, which kind of disappointed the fans, but also sort of kept the sponsors from blowing each other into a million pieces of godforsaken nuclear mush. So that's nice. For those of you who didn't get it, the U.S. was on South Korea, and Team South Korea, and the USSR was on North Korea's squad. So yeah. They decided to split the country into South Korea and, yup, you guessed it, these freaking whiz nozzles. So now we've got this country led by one guy at a time who normally isn't fit to lead an entire country. Oh, but don't worry, it gets worse. And now it's time to play America's second favorite game show. Oh God, how does this get worse? Oh, I'll tell you how it gets worse. With 5 letters. Dongs! And yes, North Korean missiles are called dongs. Yes, I googled it too. Anyway, this is the no-dong. Yes, you're allowed to laugh. The no-dong was first tested in 1993 and was one of the first in a long line of North Korean missiles to be tested. A bunch of people thought that the testing would end when North Korean leader Kim Jong-il died. They were wrong! Instead, this strawberry crapsicle named Kim Jong-un became a leader. Above, a garbage excuse for a human being visually similar to the blobfish. A few terrible things he's done. Killed hundreds of his own people, sentenced hundreds to work camps for years, had a bunch of his family members killed, rooted for the Chicago Bulls, constantly stars and lies to his own people, kills anyone who opposes him, doesn't hold the doors open for people, really just kind of sucks. Now, on the bright side, this guy doesn't have a ton of allies around the world. However, they do have the support of this one little country called, I don't know, freaking China! Population way too many. So now Kimmy Bear's building up an arsenal of dongs, trademark, and we're pretty sure that he doesn't like the U.S. at all. Like, really doesn't like the U.S. And I don't think many of us want to become nuclear mush, courtesy of North Korea. So what are we gonna do about this, you may be asking? Well, I'm glad you asked, Timmy. You see, we basically got two options. Diplomacy or militaristic action! So there's the first option, which is diplomacy, where if we wanted to do it officially, we need a bunch of things. Firstly, we need a diplomat. We currently don't have many people in North Korea who are on speaking terms with any North Korean officials, with one small exception. This guy, above the only current deterrent to World War III. And that's Dennis Rodman for the uncultured swine in the audience. Secondly, we'd need a way to talk to them, and they really don't want to talk to us. North Korea is the angsty teen of the global community, except the teen has nuclear dongs. Third, we need a lot of approval from a lot of people, specifically the other option we have is military action. There's a few pros and cons to doing this. Pros, we have one of the most technologically advanced militaries in the universe. Their weaponry is still Soviet-level stuff. It'd get the whole thing over with pretty quickly, and we're haven't had a good war in ages, as my grandpa put it. The cons. They have the largest military on the globe. Most citizens are brainwashed into thinking we're capitalist monsters and would kill us in an instant. They're allies with China, and China really wouldn't like it if we barged into the country right next door to them, and the war would probably suck, actually. So now we need to decide what to do with these guys. But Charles, what do you think? I hear you asking. Well, I'm flattered you want my opinion, Timmy. Simply put... but you know what? I'm 14 years old. There's people more adequate to solve this. That concludes today's show. And always remember, tangerines are a great source of calcium. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel at Chuck Wagon Studios. The end! Oh my God. We're all screwed.